What if I told you that most people don't lose financially because they earn too little? They lose because they want too much, too fast, for the wrong reasons. What if the biggest threat to your financial future isn't inflation, taxes, or the economy, but your own psychology? Right now, millions of people with good incomes feel broke. They're not irresponsible, they're not lazy, they're not uneducated. They're trapped in invisible psychological loops that quietly drain their wealth year after year. And the most dangerous part? These loops feel normal. Today, we're breaking down the hidden psychology of money, the subconscious patterns that keep people stuck, stressed, and financially fragile. No characters, no drama, just truth. If you understand this, you will never look at spending, status, or success the same way again. Most people believe they buy things for practical reasons. Bigger house, more space. Luxury car, better performance. Designer clothes, higher quality. That's what they tell themselves. But in reality, purchases are rarely about function. They're about identity. Every financial decision answers a silent question. Who am I? When someone upgrades their lifestyle, they're often upgrading their identity. The problem is this: if your identity is fragile, your spending becomes extreme. If your self-worth depends on external validation, your bank account becomes a tool for social signaling. You don't buy the car because you need it. You buy it because you need to feel successful. You don't upgrade the apartment because it's too small. You upgrade because your peers upgraded. You don't increase spending because your life improved. You increase spending because your income improved, and your ego demands visible proof. This is called identity-based consumption, and it is one of the most powerful wealth destroyers in modern society. When income rises, spending rises, almost automatically. This is called lifestyle inflation, but psychologically it's deeper than that. Your brain adapts rapidly to improvement. It normalizes comfort at terrifying speed. The first time you earn $100,000 per year, it feels massive. 2 years later, it feels average. Your nervous system recalibrates upward. Suddenly, basic isn't enough. Standard feels small. Affordable feels embarrassing. You don't notice it happening, you just feel pressure. Pressure to upgrade, pressure to maintain appearances, pressure to live at your level. Here's the truth. Your brain is wired to chase relative status, not absolute security. You could be earning more than 90% of the population and still feel behind if your social circle earns slightly more. The comparison never ends, and wealth never builds. Many people who overspend are not reckless. They are reacting to past scarcity. If someone grew up with financial instability, their adult spending often swings in one of two directions: extreme hoarding or extreme proving. The hoarder saves obsessively but lives in constant anxiety. The prover spends aggressively to escape the feeling of not enough. Buying becomes emotional compensation. A nicer home, a better neighborhood, a luxury vacation. Not because it's strategic, but because it temporarily silences an old insecurity. The irony? Spending to escape scarcity often recreates scarcity. Debt rises, obligations grow, margin disappears. The very thing someone is trying to escape becomes permanent. Modern finance has removed the pain of spending. Subscriptions, monthly payments, buy now, pay later, 0% financing, auto draft. Your brain is terrible at calculating long-term totals. It focuses on the monthly number. $80 per month feels small. $120 per month feels manageable. $300 per month feels doable. But stack 10 of those together, and your financial flexibility disappears. The brain treats recurring payments as background noise, but wealth is built in silence and destroyed in small monthly whispers. When your fixed expenses rise, your stress rises with them, not because of a single large decision, but because of dozens of its only decisions. Humans evolved in tribes. Being accepted meant survival. Today, the tribe is digital. Social media has amplified social proof beyond anything humans evolved to handle. You see vacations, renovations, new cars, engagement rings, promotions, luxury dinners. You don't see credit card balances, car loans, HELOC debt, 401k neglect, stress, regret. Your brain compares your full reality to someone else's highlight reel, and it feels like you're losing. So you upgrade, not because you need to, but because you don't want to feel behind. Financially, this is devastating because wealth grows slowly. Status signals appear instantly. One builds your future, the other consumes it. There is an invisible trade-off in every financial decision: freedom or display. Freedom means lower fixed expenses, higher savings rate, flexibility, career mobility, resilience. Display means higher lifestyle, visible status, external validation, immediate gratification. You cannot maximize both. Most people choose display unconsciously. They optimize for what others see. But the most powerful financial position is invisible. The person with low overhead, high liquidity, and optionality does not look impressive. They look average, but average is often where financial power hides. Once comfort increases, it becomes the baseline. Air conditioning, bigger space, premium subscriptions, convenience services, food delivery, upgraded travel. None of these are wrong individually, but comfort compounds, and comfort is addictive. Your nervous system resists downgrades more than it appreciates upgrades. This is called loss aversion. Once you live at a certain level, reducing lifestyle feels like failure, even if reducing it would dramatically improve your future. This is why people feel trapped, not because they cannot afford basics, but because they cannot emotionally tolerate lowering comfort. High income creates a false sense of security. Earning $150,000 per year does not mean you are financially stable. If you spend $140,000 per year, you are fragile. If you spend $155,000 per year, you are drowning. Income impresses others. Savings protects you. The world celebrates earners, but financially free people optimize for retention, not appearance. And retention requires margin. Margin is the space between what you earn and what you spend. Margin is oxygen. Without oxygen, you suffocate. Without margin, you panic. With margin, you can say no to toxic jobs. You can handle emergencies. You can invest consistently. You can take calculated risks. Without margin, you live in quiet fear. Fear of layoffs, fear of recession, fear of medical bills, fear of unexpected repairs. The psychological burden of zero margin is heavy, but it often hides behind a beautiful lifestyle. Wealth requires delayed gratification. Modern culture rewards instant gratification. These two systems conflict. Every time you delay consumption and invest instead, you are choosing your future self over your present ego. Most people fail not because they lack intelligence. They fail because present emotion is louder than future logic. The brain discounts the future heavily. Retirement feels abstract. Investment growth feels distant. Compound interest feels boring. But a luxury upgrade feels real, immediate, tangible. And so people trade exponential growth for linear pleasure, over and over. Most people track dollars. Almost no one tracks emotional triggers. When stressed, spend. When bored, spend. When celebrating, spend. When insecure, spend. Spending becomes emotional regulation. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" the better question is, what feeling am I trying to buy? Security? Recognition? Escape? Relief? If you solve the emotional root, spending often decreases automatically. High fixed expenses increase stress baseline, even if you are managing, even if you are fine. Chronic financial tension reduces cognitive clarity. It increases irritability, impacts relationships, reduces risk tolerance, limits creativity. The cost of high overhead is not just financial, it is neurological. Lower overhead increases psychological calm, and calm people make better financial decisions. Wealth is not about luxury. It is about options. Options to change careers, options to relocate, options to take time off, options to invest in opportunities, options to retire early. Every fixed expense reduces optionality. Every saved dollar increases it. The person with low lifestyle cost and high liquidity controls their time. The person with high lifestyle cost controls appearances. One owns their future. The other rents it from the bank. Underliving means living below your financial capacity. It feels countercultural, but it is powerful. When you earn more and do not immediately upgrade, you create compounding power. Savings rate matters more than income level. A person earning $80,000 saving 30% often outpaces someone earning $200,000 saving 5%. Because wealth is not about how much flows in, it is about how much stays and grows. Underliving builds internal confidence. You no longer need to prove anything. You operate from stability, not comparison. The most important psychological shift is this. Stop identifying as a consumer. Start identifying as an investor. Consumers ask, "What can I afford?" Investors ask, "What will this cost me in future growth?" Consumers optimize for lifestyle. Investors optimize for leverage. Consumers celebrate upgrades. Investors celebrate margin. The identity you adopt determines the behaviors you normalize. Most financial stress is self-created. Not intentionally, not maliciously, not foolishly, but psychologically. You do not need extreme income to build wealth. You need emotional awareness, margin, delayed gratification, resistance to comparison, identity clarity. If you remove ego from money decisions, your financial life transforms. Because money amplifies psychology. If your psychology is reactive, money disappears. If your psychology is disciplined, money compounds. The world will constantly tempt you to upgrade, to display, to compete, to consume. But real power is quiet. Real wealth is boring. Real freedom is invisible. And the most dangerous financial decision you can make is trying to look successful instead of becoming secure. If this changed how you think about money, reflect on your fixed expenses. Reflect on your triggers. Reflect on what you're trying to prove. Because once you see the psychological game behind money, you can finally start winning it.